Morning, good morning. Hey everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining me on the live stream. I want to make sure this is working for everyone before we get going here, because I don't see anybody joined. Before we get going here, because I don't see anybody joined. Give me just 1 second. It says only one person's watching. Is anyone on? Perfect. Okay, sorry guys, it's not calculating anybody. It's not showing any viewers. So, good morning. Thanks for joining, everyone. All right, it just wasn't showing me any viewers, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't give you guys the wrong link because I've had that happen before. So, thanks for joining me, everyone. For those of you that have never joined a live stream before, just give you a quick breakdown. I'll share some tips. I'll look at the charts. Give you guys kind of an inside look at my brain. I'm refreshing. Okay, someone told me to refresh. Give you guys a quick inside look. So if there's any downtime or like time where I'm not talking and there's quiet time, it's just because I'm actually just analyzing the charts with you guys this morning. So this is kind of like my morning analysis. I haven't looked at the chart really in a couple days. I've just kind of been taking a little break. Breaks are good for mentally. I just get tired every once in a while, especially when there's a lot of volatility and I'm trading a lot. I can just tell that I get fatigued, so I have to take some breaks. So I really haven't looked at the chart much lately. Let's just take a look at it and kind of see. We'll zoom out and see how everything looks, and take a look back because I always like reviewing things as well. If you have any questions, I can see all your comments here. But yeah, so let's get into it here. I've got the Bitcoin weekly chart pulled up. And you can see here, obviously, a really nice breakout. The only thing I see is some OBV, so on-balance volume divergence here. It's not necessarily a bad thing, okay? It definitely could mean that we need a pullback, all right? So we get that divergence, and so it doesn't necessarily mean we're like super mega bearish. It could be bearish sign, it could be a top if, whoops, wrong one. If the OBV did drop down hard, More so, a lot of times I would just say if that means that we might need a pullback soon, okay? Maybe not like right away, but if there's OBV divergence on volume, it might mean that we need a little bit of pullback, so maybe like something like this, and then some consolidation, and then we can go higher, and then that would let OBV work up, all right, and gain some strength. So that's one scenario. Other scenario is that it's just bearish, and we drop, right? Again, we always got to think of all the scenarios. Okay, that seems a little less likely now with this nice breakout here. Okay, we did have this original OBV bull flag here that broke down, or it broke out and then down, and then now it's breaking back up again. So the market's just pulling some trickery there. But yeah, so whenever I see that divergence like that, I don't always necessarily think it's like the most bearish thing in the world, but I definitely do think it usually means that you get some sort of a pullback. Whether we pull back right now or next week, okay? We still have, today's Thursday, so we still have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We still have over 3 days for this candle to close. So realistically, the volume, if we get some really heavy volume, that OBV could go through the roof, and then we would have no bearish divergence anyway. So we have to be mindful of that as well and wait for the close. But what we do see here, okay, obviously a nice breakout here of this trend, right? And those of you who haven't been here before, I like to just play with lines too, okay, when I'm on here. So I kind of get a line like this. If we put this, see, I always go from the corner of candle bodies with my lines, which gives us this weird thing right here, kind of like this. I don't know. I don't really like this trend line, but if we did hit this week, it would put us at like 12.2K. All right. And again, I like to draw my candles through the candle bodies. All right, I have a whole rule set and everything. But I like this trend line a lot, okay? So if we drop, we go back to 9,500-ish, which would make sense, okay? So we get this breakout. We have no retest yet. We drop. There's an EMA support here. So 95, 9,600-ish for a drop. We could still maintain bullishness from there. That would freak a lot of people out, obviously. But yeah, so area of interest if we do drop in the coming weeks. Okay, right here. This little area here. If we break down below this, we get concerning. Right, but for now, we'll say we're bullish above this trend line. It's pretty simple. There's no reason to be super bearish below there. If we look at Top Goon X, I actually played this terribly on the weekly. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. I played this terribly on the weekly because we had this really nice bullish divergence here down in this lower zone with price dropping. Okay. And then here we broke through. Right, and when we cross zones, we usually get some sort of a dip. All right, so we cross zones from here to here. We got a dip. All right. And then we break above the zone, we usually pop. And this is bullish continuation. So you can see here we got some bullish continuation. Do we have bearish divergence here? We're about right at that resistance, okay? So we're about right at that resistance. So if we break that, I mean, that would be mega bullish, okay? If momentum breaks that resistance. We're in the bullish territory now for weekly momentum on Top Goon X. So that's a really good sign for the bulls. All right, and it's almost like buy the dip mode now. And if we take our fibs, so we crossed, and if I take my fibs from this impulse and I buy the 786, it puts it at 96.25. Okay, so right about that zone I talked about. So there we got a lot of confluence there around the 9600 mark. Okay, so if we drop down there, don't shit your pants if we drop down to 9600. All right. The hope would be that if we drop down there though, that altcoins wouldn't shit the bed. We would want to see altcoins show some strength there. That would be good if they did. If altcoins show strength as Bitcoin's dropping, that's usually a very bullish sign. Okay. If the whole market just dumps together, not as bullish. If there's a lot of money leaving the market, if money's staying in the market and moving from Bitcoin to altcoins, more of a bullish sign. Okay. So be mindful of that. Start looking at some Bitcoin pairings. But that's really all we've got on the weekly right now. We've got this nice volume increase here. As of now, we're bullish on the weekly. If we go to the monthly, I still think we need to reclaim. And I'll go to Bitstamp here. So I think I know it was a weekly trend line on Bitstamp, I think. I can't remember. I posted a chart a while ago. Where I said that we need to break. I think it was 12.9, but I think we're a little bit different now. I'm trying to think. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to think out loud here. I think I posted a chart a while ago saying we needed to break above. I can't remember. Sorry. I'm not going to go back in Twitter and look at it for now. But it was basically saying that if we broke, it was a while ago, so the levels probably got down. I said if we broke 13.9, I think we would be in bull market territory. But that number was obviously slowly declining because of this downtrend line. I think it might have even been over here. So it might have been around this area. But I mean, we're a pretty bullish trend right now. Until we're not, okay? So we basically have to assume bullishness until we're not bullish now. Okay. So you see, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? Above these trends, okay, bullish. So we broke out. That's awesome. That's exciting. We just have to keep an eye on it now and make sure we don't break back down below. There's a lot of turmoil going on in the world right now, COVID and all this stuff. So anything can happen, okay? It's not as straightforward as it would be in normal conditions, right? Because the market is very vulnerable, and traditional markets are very vulnerable too. So we just have to be cautious as always. But we'll play these levels. If 9600 area holds, that's a pretty good area to buy in my opinion. Even if it only holds momentarily, usually you get a bounce of support. All right, so let's go down. I'll quit rambling on here. Let's go down to the daily. See what we got here on daily. Zoom out here. Okay. Nice little cup and handle looking deal here. Okay. That's a bullish pattern. Welcome, Anthony. Welcome. All right, so we got this nice bullish pattern here. I mean, everything's shaping up to be really bullish looking, you guys. All right. So we definitely need to break this resistance here. Okay, big area of resistance here. If we break that, it's gonna be nice. So you can even see here we got the similar pattern down here, right? Like super similar. And this pattern was above this support, whereas this one is, it's above support too, but it's kind of stuck in this little zone. So I'm kind of comparing these two little areas here. And then we got this breakout, this cup and handle, and continuation. We got this breakout, cup and handle, continuation. All right, so now we just need to see continuation. This last happened in March 2016. So you can see how that went. All right, looked pretty good. All right, let's go back to Binance. So we have a new high, and we're consolidating. It almost looks like a bull flag here on the daily OBV. That's a bullish. That looks bullish. Okay. So we've assumed continuation up here. We haven't seen much selling yet. I would say that we broke 10.5, and my idea was always that we break 10.5 and probably just go straight to 12K. So I still think we're going to hit 12K area. If we break that 12K, then it's straight up to probably 14 or 15K. All right. Look at Top Goon X. Really, really nice momentum here. We don't have any we do have bearish divergence still, so we have to be cautious of that. Okay, and we could probably go up a little bit higher and still have bearish divergence depending on how high momentum goes. We do want to see momentum outside of this zone, okay, to be really bullish. So you see here, last time momentum was outside of this zone, we just took off. All right, so we're not quite, we got rejected here right before the COVID stuff. All right, so we barely missed being bullish there, and then here we're getting close to it again. And when we get up there, that means that momentum's pretty much maxed out and that bulls are in full control. Okay. So yeah, that's how daily looks right now. Pretty bullish. You can see here that we are trying to hold support right now. Okay. We're trying. So we definitely don't want to see a daily close below this candle up here. All right, I would want us to close above like 1144. So we're watching that. So then we have to zoom to lower time frames. And I always go high time frame to low time frame, okay? Because it's good to know where you're at. So if we're in a high time frame, like weekly bullish zone right now, we're better off, you know, going if I'm on the daily chart, am I better off shorting on the daily or longing? I'm probably better off longing at some point on dips, right? So just play the trend. All right, you can see here we held support. And this can fake a lot of people out and scare a lot of people, but we got a little bull flag breakout here. Okay, did we get nice volume? Yes, we did. Okay, so this scares a lot of people here because we break out, we reject, and we drop. But what I'm looking for here is I've got this formation, all right, got this bullish formation, and I've got a breakout. So what I need to see is, do I have volume on that breakout? And do I have volume on that breakout? Yes, I have volume, right? Okay. Volume breakout. Give this man a cough drop. I know, man. Sorry. In the mornings, it's raining here, and my asthma just drives me crazy when it goes from really hot to raining. So I'm just having some asthma issues this morning. My bad, you guys. Anyway, so what I look for here is I look for volume. We got volume, and then I look for retest. Did we get a retest? No, we didn't get a retest here, right? Now we got a retest. Get this man a cough drop. That's funny. So now we've got our retest and we're holding it, right? So this is our retest. It doesn't have to happen right away. Okay, if it happens right away, that's good. We usually continue right away. But since we didn't get it, we still got it here. Now we need to see this hold, okay? I don't like when retests happen so late on. They're not as high probability to play out, but they still can play out, okay? And we have some bullish divergence on OBV here on that drop, okay? So that's all good. We're holding support for now. So right now, as long as we hold this zone, we're good. If we lose this EMA here, we're going to drop back down to, 10,600 again. So be mindful of that as well. This is our level of interest right now. That breaks up, and we head up to 12K at least. Okay, pretty straightforward. One thing we can kind of see here that we also want to be mindful of. Okay. Little head and shoulders type pattern, and maybe it doesn't look like this on lower time frames. but we'd want to watch for rejection up here around 11,100, okay? Usually on head and shoulders, the right shoulder is a little bit bigger than the left, and it falls right in between the head and the left shoulder. The right shoulder is a little bit higher, okay? So if we get rejected up here, and we drop back down here to retest this, we're going to fall through. All right, it's pretty straightforward. We're more than very, very likely, if that breaks, to fall through here. For now, I would at least expect a retest of 11,100. Okay, so we'll get rid of all that stuff. But a nice strong daily candle so far. We see some volume coming in. Okay, nice lower wick here. So we lean bullish for now on that. That's on the 6-hour chart. 4-hour chart, nice high volume reaction, nice strong close, right? So as long as we don't close below, so this is a bullish engulfing candle too, right? So that looks like a good retest, good successful retest. We expect continuation here. There's no reason not to. We've got nice high volume breakout. We've got a low volume drop, and now we've got nice high volume reaction at support, okay? So a lot of people like buy this right away, expect it to go straight up, it gets a little pop, and then it starts to drop. As long as we hold the bottom of this candle here, so as long as the next 4H closes below that or above this candle, we're going to be fine, and we'll probably continue. I would like to see it obviously hold here, 1100-ish. So a retest of 1100 seems totally healthy and normal right here on a little drop, okay, and then we would expect continuation. So it's all pretty straightforward. You can see our momentum's pretty maxed out here, so that's good though. Nice strong momentum. Okay, no divergent signals yet, no bearish divergent signals yet. So that looks all good to me. Everything looks really healthy right now. I think a lot of people are just nervous about a pullback. I just don't think we're going to get one yet. We do have Top Goonex on the 2H giving a dead cat bounce signal, but in really bullish times, those don't always play out right away. So that dead cat bounce signal occurred down here. Okay, so what we look at is I would draw from the top to the bottom. All right, and I would say, so 11,200, if that rejects, we're going to likely go back down to 10K-ish, or at least here this breakout, okay? So 10,300-ish, somewhere around here, if 786 breaks. All right, if not, we're going to go to 11,500, okay? That's a potential short area, 11,500. But if 11,500 breaks out, we're going to rock it up easily to 12,176, okay? So if I'm shorting this signal, which I don't know if I'd want to short this signal with how bullish everything's been, but these signals are pretty reliable, nothing's 100%. So if I was shorting that, I would look for a rejection of the 786, and we can wait for rejections. I don't have to short right away, you guys. Like, I can wait until it actually rejects or not, okay? So I wouldn't just try to short that right when it touches, because it could break through. Who knows? And if it breaks straight through and closes above, then my short is probably invalidated, and I'd wait for the 1.337 to test, okay? So anyway, so if 1.337 tests, which seems pretty likely at this point, and I think it's going to break, and if that breaks, we will go straight up to 12K. There's probably like a 90% chance that if this breaks here, the 1.337, we're going to go straight to the 2.618. Okay, pretty straightforward. So for now, we lean bullish. We don't want to break the 0.236, so 10,945 needs to hold, as I said earlier. So those are our levels. All right, just map out your levels. Buy support, sell resistance. Resistance or support breaks down, turns into resistance, short it. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so here's our support level we need to hold. If that holds, we've got our resistance levels here. So here's a resistance level. Okay, another resistance level up here around 11.5. And another one up here at that 12,200-ish area. All right, and that's going to be a really key level of interest, all right, up there. All right, pretty straightforward, easy enough. The only thing is, don't over leverage yourself on these breakouts, because you've seen yesterday and past days, these huge wicks that we get on lower time frames can really can liquidate you on high leverage plays. All right. As far as low time frame goes, momentum's in the upside right now. Okay. Everything looks pretty good here. We're holding support on OBV. that nice high volume candle right there is really strong. I mean, I really just expect continuation at this point. Alright, as long as this bottom holds here, like I said. And at this point, it's probably even here, so this candle probably needs to hold. Alright, so expect continuation right now. But, you know, be ready for alternate scenarios as well. OBV looking really nice and strong here on low time frames. Did we break the downtrend? We did. Okay, so we broke downtrend too on low time frames, so that's a good sign. All right, and so we break downtrend. So somebody asked for a scalping tip. Well, here you go. Here's your scalping tip. When we're in an uptrend, you just buy the dips. Okay, so right now we're in an uptrend, so I could just scalp long anything basically until it stops working. All right, so I would have bought this dip and scalp longed it. If we reject here and we dip again, I'll scalp long. I would scalp long that dip as well. Okay, you're just better off playing with the trend. Right now, the trend on lower time frames is up. Okay, pretty straightforward. If we break down here somewhere below 10,954, I would just short. I would short the bounces. Okay, that's really all I got on Bitcoin right now. I mean, pretty straightforward. I'm not looking for any trades. So we'll just look at Ethereum now, okay, and see what it's showing. Here's the biggest thing I see right now on Ethereum is OBV is looking really strong. Okay, we're at resistance, which is a little worrisome, but we got a new high, and price has yet to follow. So I think that it's only a matter of time here before Ethereum goes up to 250, 260. Seems pretty likely. I was actually up last night, and I haven't really been trading the last 2 days. I was up last night on this wick down here, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not longing that because, again, like I said, we're in an uptrend right now, so you long the dips, right? And you take your chances sometimes. So I'm a little upset with myself for not taking that because I think that was a really good opportunity, and you can see here that we probably wicked out these stops. Okay, so anybody that put their stop here right below that candle got wicked out or right at it or right up there. So that's a nice little stop sweep. Okay. And again, so we're in an uptrend, right? And I see some dropping. So if I was scalping, I would just look to buy a dip somewhere here at support. Okay, and we're dropping pretty hard right now, but we're still in the bullish territory. So maybe right here, I would look to long a dip on a scalp, right? Okay, why not? So if I longed here, okay, at 318.26 for 10x, okay, we got some low volume dip too. So if I did it like right here, okay, and I could scalp up here, that's like a 7.7% scalp gain right now, okay? If we bounce, and again, I'm not scalping, I'm not trading this, so we could drop a little bit more. I'd have to go to like the 1 minute or something to really get a read on it, okay? So I'm not saying you guys should scalp this right now. I'm just saying I would look for a long scalp when I see a drop like that, and we drop to support. So odds are that we would get a bounce here somewhere to even like here, okay? Even if we bounce here to point, like that's a 2% gain on a scalp, right? If it's a 10x long. If it's a 20x, then that's a 4% gain. So you have to play your risk and play levels there. But I use a manual stop when I scalp, Tim. So because of wicks, when I scalp, I have to account for wicks. I can do a laddering technique. There's a million different techniques I won't get into too far right now. But right here, we almost have a 1% gain anyway. So I'm in profit right now if I took this scalp, right? 1%. Now we're up a little bit more, 1.1%, okay? So I'm at least in profit, and if momentum stalls, I can just sell real quick and get out, all right? Or I can move my stop up, or I can tighten a stop or something. At this point, I would, if I wanted to, I could put a manual stop. So there you go. So there's like a 1.5% gain right there on a 10x if I take that. Just from that, just from longing a dip. And honestly, right now, I'd probably hold this just from seeing momentum. I'd probably at least play this up to like 318.95. But I'd have to go to lower time frames to really see that. But look at this nice reaction already. Okay, so momentum stalled and we start to drop again. So that's usually when I get out. So I probably would have closed at that 0.14 once we stalled. But that's just a quick scalp. So there's like 2% scalp in 30 seconds or whatever. All right. So Ethereum, though, the biggest thing I see is the OBV making a new high. Now, again, obviously, if the daily closes below what was the low today? 314.05. If we go below 314.05, we won't have a new high anymore. We'll pivot down here. So we have to be mindful of that. But I'm still leaning bullish on Ethereum right now. We got like a nice little inverted, like hammer almost, like a little inverted candle. So usually those kind of peak up, okay? Let's see. Again, we got this downtrend break here. Okay, we broke out with some volume. We're retesting it now. So as long as this holds again, so on Ethereum, it's pretty straightforward. I'm sure you guys can see this pretty obviously here. If this doesn't hold here, so 315-ish, 314-ish, if this doesn't hold, we flip this. It's a big drop down to at least 285-ish, okay? So that's where I would look to short. A flip of that. Or if I was here, I could have longed this already. Okay, I probably don't have like a swing long play at that level now. But yeah, it's nice to just have a plan in place, you guys. So if I have a plan in place, and let's say I'm going to do this, okay, then I'm just going to plan for that if it plays out. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine, but at least I made a plan. So there's no emotions involved once I have a plan, right? And honestly, momentum just stalled hard. Like, I just really want to, I would probably long scalp this soon again if I was, trading. But anyway, just because momentum stalled and we're at support. So, and I'm just looking at the tickers here. Just I can get a good read on momentum here just from the tickers. Okay, I don't look at order book or anything. I don't need that. Well, you can see we already popped up 20 cents, 25 cents now. That would have been a really good long scalp there. And it'll probably kick up a little bit more. But again, that's not the whole entire basis of my scalping. I'm just kind of like pointing stuff out real quick while I'm watching it. There's a lot more. It's a lot more in depth than that. But again, that would have been a really nice scalp, right? From 318.20 up to somewhere up here. Again, another 1%, 1.5%. Okay. As far as scalping, yeah, I just use Top-Goon X, honestly. So when Top-Goon X, I mostly, honestly, I use price action and volume, but I do use Top-Goon X when I'm on the computer. And what I see here is it's pretty topped out on the low time frame. So I probably I wouldn't hold scalp longs very long yet. So what that means is if I scalp long, I'm going to close it pretty quick, and maybe I'd look for some scalp shorts here. But when it's lower down here, okay, I look for scalp longs. You can see how the market reacts when it's down here, and we actually got bullish divergence here for a really nice scalp long. Okay. So when it's down here, you can see, that would have been a 5% or whatever. When it's down here, though, you can see how much more the bulls react as to when it's up here. Okay. You can see how much more the bears react when price is up here. So this is the upper zone here, upper zone here, upper zone here, upper zone here. Okay, now we're in the upper zone again. And this is all low time frame. Alright. So, and we bounce at the bullish level here. So that's how I use Top-Goon X for scalping. So if it's at the bottom, I'll be able to hold my scalp longs a little bit longer. Whereas if it's at the top, I'll usually get out of them a lot quicker, okay, on these low time frames when I'm scalping. Because usually trends like to go up and down, and that's what Top-Goon X does, it trends. So yeah, Top-Goon X is definitely one of my best indicators for scalping. Let's look at, we've got our levels mapped out now, and you guys can screenshot those or whatever to, for future reference. But basically, we're getting a nice bullish reaction here as expected at support, right? So you could see this. Nice bullish reaction. Looks good. And again, the 1 minute isn't the end-all be-all here. So just because price is down here doesn't mean we can't go up a little bit higher, or we can break up heavy, and then we can reset this trend a little bit. And as Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin. So like as Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin's breaks up here, and then it kind of consolidates, and then that's when Top-Goon X could correct or could reset, and then that's when you can go long again. So yeah, you guys definitely check out Elevate Trading. We've got a lot of new members lately. Everyone really likes it. You know, we're not like a typical. We don't like to promote ourselves as a signals group. We post our trades. Okay, Crypto Warrior, one of the admins, he's a really good alt trader. He took an account from $500 to like 2,500 or 25,000, I think, or 40,000. I don't even know. He's up like 3,000% on his scalp account that he started with $500, and he just posts every trade and the little channel for it, and everyone can follow along if they want. So it's really cool. Satoshi Heavy is really good with his Elliott wave at capturing like the really extreme highs and lows of moves, and then I just kind of catch everything in between. I post all my trades on like a 15-minute time frame and higher. I post all of those on there. But what we do is a lot of education too, and we do a lot of risk management education. So that's what I think the biggest things I get from our members, the best feedback is the risk management education has been super helpful, whereas people just aren't like losing money like they used to carelessly. And then the indicators. Everyone really, really likes our indicators. Satoshi has coded like 5 or 6 indicators. They match a lot of different people's trading styles. And they work on a bunch of different time frames for different ones. There's some confirmation based ones for swing trading. There's, like proactive ones, like Top Goon X is really proactive and gives signals, but also he's got this Chevy, which has color changing candles and does all this other stuff for confirmation and things too. So a little bit for everyone. One thing I'm looking at is XTZ again. So we'll pull this chart up. So I definitely need to see this level hold here on the weekly. Okay. Otherwise, it's going to probably get ugly. I do see a very nice OBV breakout here. Okay. So we get this OVB breakout and retest. So realistically, we would want to see this breakout, retest, go. Okay. And if we go here, so here's why I like XTZ, because if we go here, we're going to go. Like, it's not going to be weak. Okay. If XTZ breaks up here, it's going to break up to a new all-time high, almost guaranteed. If it does. Okay. And this is the Bitcoin pairing. So we'll look at the USD pairing in a minute. Okay, let's see here. So we've got Top Goon X showing some bullish divergence here, which I'm just now noticing. I really like this. Okay, bullish divergence on the daily chart. I love it. That's really good to see. Okay, we need to hold this breakdown here. Okay, this level needs to hold. All right, but a lot of times, so if I got this original entry, so a lot of times people get scared or they get stopped out here and they wait for lower or whatever. Okay, a lot of times this is where I look to add if I get my original entry. Now I always take profit, so I closed out my XTZ trade and really nice profit is one of my best trades all month for sure. I think it might have been my best trade all month. But anyway, what happens is if people are swing trading this, it'll go up that high and they'll put their stop loss at break even or a little bit of profit and they'll get stopped out and then they'll wait for it to go lower because it made a new low here. Well, sometimes, this is a quick capitulation, a panic sell. People get stopped out and then it goes off again. And what I've learned through scalping is that a lot of times second chance entry is not a curse, it's actually a blessing. All right, so let's say I did like a half position size here and had some more laddered down below. Well, we break up here, we drop back down. Well, now I can add my full position size. Okay. Now I'm not saying that you should do that in this situation, or every situation where you get the same, re-entry. But if I enter at a support or resistance, right? So if I enter long at a support and we retest that support and it holds, that's a really good sign. So a lot of times I like that if I see that hold again and it gives me confirmation for my move. So if that makes sense, I hope that makes sense. But on scalping, I do that a lot. Whereas like I'll have like a smaller position, it'll bounce back to my original entry. Instead of selling, I'll actually add more. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Maybe a local downtrend break and retest. Okay. Break, retest. I definitely need to see it reclaim this support up here, this resistance now. As far as OBV goes, we have this nice strong breakout. Here's looks like a resistance area here, or support area now, which we retested. So we don't want to lose this. All right, we definitely don't want to lose that. It almost looks bear flaggish here, but as long as that holds and bounces. And one more thing I noticed is actually some OBV bullish divergence, okay? So price dropped, but volume increased, so that's divergence on the daily. And sometimes you get these nice holds here like this, these nice lower candles, these lower wicks, okay, lower candles, the lower wicks, and then you'll drop on low volume, which we got a low volume drop here. Hey, welcome. So what'll happen is here, you'll drop here, but we dropped to support, right? And support held, and we never closed below these lower wicks, right? We never closed below these, so it's actually a hold, and it can be kind of a bear trap sometimes, and then you can rocket up out of those. Now again, not all the time, but I see these similar patterns a lot, so just something to keep in mind, okay? So that's Bitcoin pairing. I'll go to maybe like the 6 hour and we'll call it good here. Again, some bullish divergence barely, okay? Some slight bullish divergence here. Yeah, and I mean, I do a lot of live streams in Discord, you guys, on Elevate Trading. Just go to, here's the www.elevatetrading.com, and then if you go to our prices, you can get straight to the membership packages. You can cancel anytime, you know. A lot of people have been doing the trial lately, and then like 2 days into the trial, they just purchase the package because they want all the features. But if you don't like it after a month, you know, you can always cancel. We're not one of those groups that makes it really hard to cancel or anything. If you absolutely extremely hate it, we've given refunds back. But you know, we've had almost 300 members for the last 2 years now, and just keep like slowly growing. You know, so we have members that have been here for 2 years. And if you ever join and our prices go up, you're locked in at your prices right now. So we're not one of those groups that'll, you know, just raise everyone's price without telling them or anything. We have members from 2 years ago that got in at like $50, and they're in at $50. So it's not about the money, you guys. Honestly, we just want to help people. I know it probably sounds cheesy, but there's a lot of people in there that we help, and it's really nice to be able to do that. Okay. I make enough money on trading that I don't really worry about the profit in the group, more so than just getting out some content. And it's not like I'm really doing extra work. I mean, it's a little extra work, but it's more like I'm just I'm doing the analysis for myself anyway, and then I'm posting it in there and, you know, helping share some tidbits. And I also have a really cool educational channel in there too that I built with like some really custom content and charts and like scenarios and things. So a lot of people really like that too. But yeah, so let's keep on with XTZ. Sorry, I digressed here. Maybe like a falling wedge pattern or something, or like a falling channel here, which usually break up. Okay, OBV looks a little ugly, but we're at this breakout support here barely. So we're like hanging on by a thread here. So this is actually a pretty important area because we consolidated and broke out. And so this support really, really needs to hold for this to hang on here, okay? And it just barely did, thank God. Delete. Yes, I don't need that. Okay. So we could definitely bounce there, okay? If we lose that, though, we're coming back down to this little cup and handle type area here for sure. And then this would be a good area of interest for a bounce, okay? So we'll keep an eye on that. Ideally, I wouldn't really care if the Bitcoin pairing went down too much as long as the USD pairing went up if Bitcoin goes up. So let's look at USD pairing. I don't trade Bitcoin pairings really, so I'm better with USD pairings anyway. So we'll start with the weekly, okay? And the biggest thing I notice here is weekly is holding support, okay? Weekly is holding support on low volume. We've got some nice high volume up here coming in, and then we've got low volume coming out. And it looks like we've got an uptrend break, or downtrend break, I should say, okay? So we've got a downtrend break here, a retest. I mean, we could go a little bit lower. We could wick us out. We could liquidate some high leverage longs. We could this and that. But realistically, we should hold this and continue up here. Okay, let's see here. So we haven't quite retested the support yet. We're kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere. All right, but you can see here, it's not picture perfect with where these supports and resistances are at. But we did break through this double top, so that's a good sign. But really, I just want to see this should continue. At some point in the next week or two, this should very likely continue upwards to a new all-time high, and I would probably say around $5 or $6, okay, somewhere in that area. Let's look at the daily here, okay, and it looks like that's the same line I already had from my weekly, and it looks like we're just holding this, okay? So here's how I draw this on the daily. Got to make sure I'm not breaking into my rules. And it looks like we're clean and we're holding this. So like this is your best R to R opportunity on a long, because if we break this, we're dropping down to 240 area, okay? And then we might lose this uptrend even. Okay, so we got to hold this uptrend here. This is our uptrend line right now, which probably matches up with down here. Maybe not. So here we go. So if we lose this uptrend here, this downtrend here, we'll go back to this uptrend line up here somewhere. And then that's where we would look for potential buy-in opportunities. Right now, here's pretty much a straightforward play. And again, we got that drop. We held this support. We got some wicks below. But right now we're holding this, so we can assume a little bit of bullishness here. It's knife catching right now to an extent. We also have this breakout, though. And we have high volume, right? High volume breakout. So realistically, we could call this a breakout with a retest here and consolidation. OBV actually looks pretty nice. Looks kind of flaggish a little bit, right? Nice breakout, retest. We're flagging here. Yeah, I mean it all looks pretty good, dude. This is the one thing I've been watching is, and actually we got rid of this divergence now. So one thing I was watching and why I took some profit up here. I took a lot of profit up here. And then I moved my stop loss up into profit, okay? And why I did that is because Top Goon X had bearish divergence, which concerned me, and rightly so, okay? So we pulled back. But with that pullback, we actually got some bullish divergence, it looks like, because here we got price going down, and here we've got momentum going up, okay? So we've got a little bit of bullish divergence now. And we've got OBV bullish divergence on the daily again, okay? So we need to see a strong reaction here in the next day or two. But we're at weekly support, we're at daily support, so we could get some kind of a bounce here. So I'm in some spot XTZ from like 277 or 278. And as long as we don't close below, honestly, probably like 273, but even like 265-ish, as long as we don't go below there, I feel comfortable holding my position, okay? And I would target, $4.50, $6, or $4.50 to $6 area, probably somewhere around there. Highest maybe like 7-ish, but that sounds like a stretch right now. Or you probably have to hold like 2 months to get that. And I just don't hold that long. If it goes up to $4.50 in a week, I would probably consider selling there anyway, which is almost 100% gain. So XTZ on 6 hour. Let's take a look here. Okay, we're holding support. We've got a nice strong candle here, but low volume, so that's halfway concerning. Okay, let's see if anything stands out. And again, I'm not as good with these altcoins as I am with like Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? Let's see. No, I really don't trade ADA. So yeah, I don't know. These are so sporadic that it's really hard to get a clean read. OBV is looking pretty weak, but we're holding this support area. So if I just zoom out, here's a big support zone. Okay, so we just need to hold this support zone somewhere in here, which we are right now. And we just want to see us come out of the support zone. And then if we come out of here, I feel really confident about more upside on the 6 hour, okay? 4 hour, OBV actually looks really nice. A nice breakout. Now we're retesting. We've got this nice like falling wedge type deal. All right, so this looks bullish to me. Really nice bullish chart, bullish OBV here. Some nice accumulation a little bit here too. This nice reversal pattern. And then this nice flag breakout. Also, we got a Top Goon X strong buy signal. And I actually think I posted this on Twitter a while ago. Last time we got the strong buy signal was here. And momentum broke above here. And I wonder if we've got some similarities here. Let's see. So here's how you do a fractal. So you go to this little thing here and you go to bars pattern. Okay. And then you just kind of take this. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, we'll just do it here. All right, so you got this little bars pattern here, and maybe something like this, okay? So pretty similar PA here, right? Pretty similar. So that was the last time we got the buy signal on top GoonX. Price broke above here, and we were here. Where was that at? So when it broke above there and retested, we were here on this big drop, okay? Which would match up with here on this big drop, right? Right before upside and continuation. So we're pretty much right dead on with this fractal. You can even see here, we got this like quick drop and then this retest, which actually matches up with right where we're at right now. So if we play this fractal, the target on the fractal is $8-ish, which is about my top area, okay? So pretty interesting, pretty cool stuff. Fractals, you know, I never 100% count on fractals, but they're always fun. Right? And it matches up, but it also, like top GoonX looks really similar here too, right? Now we just need to see some momentum increase. XRP, I don't know, you guys. I haven't touched XRP. I'm just watching that zone. If it breaks out, I'll probably buy a little bit. If it drops to the bottom of the zone, I'll probably buy a little bit. Yeah, during that whole COVID thing, I just was busy. I wasn't buying my computer. I wasn't buying charts hardly. Like, I couldn't get any entries on anything. Like, Litecoin dropped close to my entry. And I had a few really, really low bid set on some exchanges, but and those didn't get hit. But I didn't have time to buy spot or anything on Litecoin at those low levels. I mean, I traded them up. You know, through the next few days. But when that all happened and it wicked up so quick, I didn't get those entries. Yeah, I have echo. Sorry about that. I'm working on my sound here. I've got some things on the way, so it's kind of all a new setup. So yeah, there's definitely a little bit of echo, but that'll be fixed here in the next few weeks. I've ordered some things and whatnot, so sorry about that, you guys. Hey Troy, yeah, a lot of times I will on Bing Bong. So the question is, do I market buy or sell my scalps? Most of the time, yes, because I'm getting in on high volatility, and if I'm getting in or out on a wick, there's not much time for me to try to limit, and trying to limit out will actually make me miss my entries a lot. I trade on Bean Bond because their fees are like 0.4% on a 10x, so it's like 0.04% times whatever leverage, and on a lot of other exchanges it's like 0.075, so it's 40% reduced fees right there, which helps out a lot. It makes a huge difference when scalping. So yeah, if I'm doing like a 15 to 30 minute chart or something a little bit higher, I can usually set some limits and at least try to halfway limit out. But most times on Bing Bong, I just have to, when I'm really scalping, like some of my entries and exits are in 15 seconds. So there's no time to set limits there. But yeah, XTZ is really all I'm looking at. Link is breaking out hard. Link's probably going to go to $10, honestly, or $9.50 at least. I'm not saying you should FOMO in or anything, but really what I see here is this nice breakout. So all that Zeus Capital stuff didn't seem to work out very well, did it? So we got a breakout here. If we retest this at, what is this? 725-ish, 728-ish, somewhere around here. We got some nice volume coming in. Link looks pretty good right now to continue on here soon, you guys. Really good, actually. So if you're holding Link, keep holding for now, I would say, as long as we don't lose this support. And this is like a really nice double bottom. Oh, shit. This is a beautiful double bottom. So, perfect. That is sweet. That is a really good double bottom. So, double bottoms, high volume on the first bottom. Okay. High volume on the first bottom. Low volume on the second bottom. Okay. No volume here. So, thanks. I started out on Femex with your referral link. Do you like Femex or Bing Bong better? Hey, thanks a lot for using my referral link, you guys. I really appreciate that. You know, it's not a ton of money, but it helps a little bit, and I always try to get back to you guys too. So I really do appreciate that. As far as do I like either better, I like them both actually. For scalping, the price on Bing Bong moves a lot more. Like bounces around a lot more because I don't know if there's more liquidity or what, or more marketing on Bing Bong just because the fees don't matter. But there's a lot more of like this on low time frames on Bing Bong, whereas on Femex, it's really, I don't get as much of a spread. I get like this much of a spread sometimes, so I literally sometimes I can't scalp in and out, or there's slippage and the fees are higher, and I just not as successful scalping on there. I do like Femex though. I obviously work with Bing Bong, but I'm not gonna down Femex. They're a great exchange. They have some good stuff on there and some good features. I can trade XTZ on there. I think Bing Bong might be adding XTZ soon. Either one's fine, Bing Bong, I just really like the lower fees, and I like the scalping especially, but I do like to have like my buy and holds on Femex sometimes. BitMEX is super sketchy lately. I think BitMEX is always super sketchy. But back to the chart real quick, guys. So a double bottom with low volume is beautiful. Like I buy the hell out of those all the time. I really wish I would have seen this. This probably happened in the middle of the night. Oh no, it didn't happen July 29th, yesterday, I think, during the day. So I just didn't pay attention to Link's chart yesterday. But there's a really nice double bottom on the 6H. This first bottom here is usually a lot more harsh. There's usually a wick here, a longer wick, and a lot more volume because this is a high area of interest, right? So price drops to this level. We have a lot of buyers and people interested in buying this. And so everyone that wanted this level buys here or whatever. And the market's all like, yeah, we got our price. Okay, we bounce up, we reject, and then all these people are still holding, and so there's not as much volume here because all these people already bought. So they might put in half position or like add a little tiny bit, or maybe they're just sitting in there and holding and not paying attention, and they've got their stop loss down here. So there's less action here because the market's not as interested because it was already at that price. But that's a good thing that the market isn't as interested, because if the market was more interested, and there's a lot of volume here on the second time, then we're going to have a lot of people selling, and we're going to have a lot, and it's probably going to force price down below. Okay, but this is just a nice low volume, and what happens there too is a lot of people, it usually sits here for a minute, and people get scared, and they think that they're going to, it's going to go lower because it's back to what they bought at, or they bought up here because they FOMO'd in, and then it went back down, and they're scared it's going to break down to here. And these are just really good buy opportunities, pretty much on any time frame. Okay. We can see Ethereum's really nice reaction here, you guys. I mean, I should have just taken some of these trades, honestly, but that's okay. I like sharing with you guys. I don't need to trade today. It's actually been a really nice break, not scalping. But if any of you guys, took these key levels of interest, you did great on the stream already. Damn, I would have just been long scalping the hell out of this stuff. And that would have been really nice. So we're getting some nice volume here. All the support levels I talked about held. XTZ is looking really nice. I hope it's holding. Oh, I love it. So this is what I really like to see too, and it doesn't have to stay like this. Bitcoin pairing can fall off a cliff, but I like when I see Bitcoin pushing up, which it's actually really not right now. It's kind of holding steady, but if Bitcoin's pushing up a little bit, and it all is pushing up in the Bitcoin pairing, these things usually rocket in USD pairing, right? So if Bitcoin's going up and the Bitcoin pairing to an alt is going up too, then the USD pairing is going up basically double time. So, this is BTC pair, but I'm talking about USD pair as well. Everything looks good, you guys. I think we're going to see a push today, and probably, what's today? Thursday. So today and tomorrow we'll probably see a push. Could it mean a pullback over the weekend? I have no clue. That would make sense, at least on maybe the Bitcoin and the majors. One other thing I kind of see here too on XTZ 1H is almost like a parabola. And parabolas can be really nice to trade too, but you have to be careful and know how to trade them. But this looks like a pretty steep parabola here. Okay, so I'd expect like a minimum of like 50 to 50, somewhere in 50 to 80% correction of this. So if I take my fibs from this parabola, so I would say I would at least expect it to go up to like the 786 area, somewhere up here, okay, which is a strong resistance. We've got this nice breakout, and then we've got a higher low, and then it looks like we're breaking this. So we should continue nice and strong here. When these parabolas go the opposite direction, they usually break pretty hard and fast. So they usually break out pretty hard and fast, and they go up there pretty quick. So I'm pretty bullish on XTZ right now, at least in the Bitcoin pairing. Okay, so that's good. Again, I'm not really a Bitcoin pairing trader. They kind of react a little differently sometimes than USD pairs. But as far as I see, everything looks really good. We got this downtrend breakout. Okay, we got a nice high volume retest here. Everything looks good. We should at least test up here 2,800-ish. Alright, which is 11% on Bitcoin pairing. So that's great. Damn it, Ethereum is going nuts, you guys. I told you it was going to. I got a little spot Ethereum, luckily, from over the years. But no leverage today, unfortunately. And I'm really, like I said, I'm really bummed I didn't get this entry last night when I was watching it. I was like 1 in the morning here, and I was just dead tired. And I didn't trade it, which is fine. It's smart, because most times if I'm dead tired, it's the middle of the night, I'm probably going to get shit entry and get stopped out in my sleep. But this is just beautiful. I'm not going to FOMO in now. But basically what I see here, now that we're breaking up, so that would have been a lovely scalp. Okay, if I got in when I was talking about it like 318.20, that's like an 8% scalp up there on a 10x. But anyway, what I want to see here is this high volume area right here. I need to see this break and flip. And then if this breaks and flips, it's game over for bears, and we're just going to fly, okay? And that's probably what's going to happen, to be honest. So, but I've got some XTZ. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, everything looks really nice right now, you guys. I think we're holding all our support levels mentioned, and I think we're going to see some nice upside. Again, on Bitcoin, here's the level we need to hold, or we need to break through here, this breakdown here. Okay, so Ethereum could lead the way and start, because Ethereum's basically at that breakdown right now, whereas Bitcoin's got a little ways to go up to like that 11,200, 240 area I talked about earlier. So that's the big area on Bitcoin I talked about earlier. Ethereum, it's pretty much go time. I'm not going to buy, I would never buy support, I would never buy support, you guys. I would never buy resistance, okay? But it looks like we're flipping this. So we got to see here, 30-minute closes in 17 minutes, so there's still time. So we definitely could reject here, but see LBV looking like an inverse head and shoulders here. Nice consolidation. So, yeah, you guys, that's really all for me today. Look for, Ethereum, the next target is like 335 and then 360, and 360 seems pretty likely at this point. So that's what I got. I'm just in XTZ right now. So keep holding that unless it goes below 265. And I've got some things to do today. Otherwise, so I'm not really going to scalp or trade the rest of the day, but I'll keep an eye on everything. I'll send you guys updates as they come about. I really appreciate you guys all joining. Thanks for all your support on Twitter. I'm going to do a Trezor giveaway, I think, this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Play safe. Make sure you have stop losses set and things like that. Just be mindful of the scam wicks, when we go up, when we break up, and then we get a quick wick down just to liquidate all those longs. So be mindful of that. Don't go don't go all in on your first entry. What you can do on those scam wicks is if you're in, let's say you go 50% in, and then we break up hard. Okay, good, you're 50% in, right? We go up hard, we just keep going, you're 50% in. If you go all in here and we drop on a scam wick, you might have to put your stop loss here for risk management sake, right? Because if we go lower than that, you're going to take too big of a loss. But if you go 50% in, you can put your stop loss lower. And then if we do this and we break down hard, you can add your other 50% in here, put your stop loss a little bit lower, and then you've got 100% in. So that's how you're going to get ahead on the market in the end, because the market, well, it doesn't always do what we want it to do. Okay, it doesn't always go straight up or straight down, but sometimes it will. It's just in the long run, you just need to give yourself an advantage on the market, and you do things like that to give yourself that advantage. But yeah, everything looks strong, you guys. Enjoy the nice bullishness for now. We'll keep 12K, 12,200 area on Bitcoin in mind. The 11,240 area for now too. Ethereum right here, basically right where we're at. Like this what was the high on the open on this? 321.28. A close above there, and we're gonna fly. Okay. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.